Every great story has a beginning, a place where the seed of a dream is planted, small, crowded apartment in Brooklyn, born on a chilly autumn day, framed by the constant hum of the city, the loving but tired faces of his family. They did not have much money, thin apartment walls, neighbors' lives bleeding through as a constant soundtrack. Within those walls, a quiet, powerful dream. He saw a future bigger and brighter. He wanted to lift the weight from his family's shoulders and make them proud. As a young boy, James was a keen observer of life's simple truths. His mother moved through their home like a quiet storm of love and labor, cooking, cleaning, caring for him and his younger sister. His father was a ghost in their lives, working 2 jobs just to keep food on the table, leaving before the sun came up, returning long after James was asleep. From them, he learned the unspoken language of resilience. He learned that to be brave was not to be without fear, but to keep going in spite of it. He learned to help without being asked, to see a need and fill it. This was his first education, long before he stepped into a classroom. School presented its own set of challenges. A world where what you had often felt more important than what you knew. There were times when a new textbook was a luxury his family simply could not afford. So James learned to be resourceful. He borrowed books from friends, carefully turning the pages so as not to leave a mark. The local library became his sanctuary. Stories opened up windows to a world far beyond his Brooklyn neighborhood. Each book was a promise, a whisper that there was more to life. He held on to that promise with all his might. At 12, he decided he could no longer just be a witness to his family's struggle. He had to become a participant in their survival. A powerful desire to contribute, to earn his own way, took root in his heart. He walked the bustling streets of his neighborhood, eyes wide with curiosity. He saw the rhythm of commerce playing out on every corner, food carts, onions sizzling on a grill, hands exchanging money for a warm meal. An idea sparked within him. He thought, I can do this. His very first job was a simple one. He began helping a man who sold hot dogs, a small step into a world that would one day be his own. James's first foray into the world of street vending was a masterclass in humility and hard work. He was the hot dog man's shadow, his apprentice in the bustling theater of the sidewalk. His duties were small but essential. He meticulously cleaned the stainless steel cart until it gleamed under the city sun. He was the keeper of the napkins, handing them to customers with a shy but genuine smile. He watched the owner with intense focus, studying how he bantered with the regulars, studying how he remembered a construction worker's favorite toppings, studying how he could make a stranger feel like a friend. James absorbed it all, learning that selling a hot dog was about more than food. It was about connection. After a year of tireless work and frugal living, James had managed to save a handful of dollars. With this money, he purchased his very own hot dog cart. It was a humble vessel, used and slightly battered, with a few spots of rust that told stories of its past. He pushed his cart to a busy corner near a subway station, where the river of humanity flowed endlessly. The first day was a blur of nerves, then a woman stopped. A woman.
She bought a single hot dog and looked him in the eye, saying, "Good luck, young man."
Those words were like a balm to his anxious soul. The early days were a crucible, testing his resolve in ways he had never imagined. There were slow afternoons when he sold only a handful of hot dogs, the meager earnings barely covering his costs. There were days when the sky would open up, sending a cold, hard rain that washed the streets clean of customers, leaving him to stand alone under his small umbrella. He faced setbacks that felt like personal attacks. Once, another vendor, mistaking it for his own, took his cart. A wave of anger and despair washed over James, but it was quickly replaced by a steely determination. He would not be a victim. He found out where the man lived, walked to his door, and with a steady voice asked for his property back. The man, embarrassed, returned the cart and even gave James a generous tip for his trouble. This small, hard-won victory felt monumental, fanning the flames of his hope. In a small, worn notebook, James became the meticulous accountant of his own small enterprise. Every evening, he would sit at his family's kitchen table and record every single cost, from the price of the buns to the mustard, and every single sale. He counted his earnings with the precision of a banker, a ritual that grounded him in the reality of his business. He learned the profound power of saving, of delaying gratification for a future reward. While his friends spent their pocket money on new sneakers and treats, James funneled his profits into a glass jar hidden in the back of his closet.
I'm saving for something big.
As the seasons turned, so did James's fortune. 2 years of pushing that rusty cart had transformed him. He was no longer the shy boy handing out napkins. He was a fixture of the neighborhood, a familiar and welcome sight. He made it a point to learn his customers' names. Mrs. Garcia liked extra relish. The construction foreman, Mike, always wanted a bottle of cold water with his 2 hot dogs. He created a small hand-painted sign that simply read, "James's Dogs." This personal touch made a difference. The cart itself seemed to stand a little taller, always clean, always organized. More people began to notice. One crisp morning, a local shop owner, Mr. Chen, who had watched James's daily hustle for months, approached the cart. He had observed the boy's unwavering work ethic. His bright smile never faded, even on the coldest days. Mr. Chen saw a reflection of his own immigrant journey in James's determination.
I've been watching you, son. You have a good heart. I want to help you.
He offered James a small covered space in the alcove next to his shop. It wasn't much, but it was a haven. This simple act of kindness was the first truly significant break James had ever received. It was a turning point. The new location was a game changer. The small alcove provided a roof, a simple luxury that made a world of difference. On rainy days, customers could now stand comfortably while they ate. In the biting winter, it offered a small shield from the wind. His visibility grew. His customer base grew. Then came another unexpected boost. A reporter for a small local newspaper wrote a short piece about him. The article, titled "Brooklyn's Friendly Hot Dog Seller," celebrated his journey. It celebrated his warm spirit. Suddenly, people were coming from other neighborhoods, the folded newspaper clipping in their hand, wanting to meet the young man with the big dream. This newfound attention brought customers. It also brought opportunity. One day, a man who ran a small catering company for local office buildings stopped by, intrigued by the buzz. He ordered a hot dog. As he ate, his expression turned from curiosity to genuine appreciation. He was impressed by the taste. He was impressed by the cleanliness and James's professional demeanor.
Could you cater a small office party next week?
The request was thrilling and terrifying. It was his first big job, a leap into a new league. James said yes, his mind already racing, knowing this was a chance to prove he was more than just a boy with a cart. Today, as we stand in 2025, James Carter is the owner of a beloved chain of casual restaurants scattered across the 5 boroughs of New York City. He is a mogul, but not in the way the city tabloids usually portray them. He is not flashy or ostentatious. His success is quiet, steady, and deeply rooted in the community. His family, once burdened by financial worry, now lives comfortably, their pride in him immeasurable. His mother, her hands now soft and her days filled with peace, still gets tears in her eyes when she talks about his first rusty hot dog cart. He was always a good boy, she says to anyone who will listen. He just never, ever gave up on himself. Her words are the simplest and most powerful summary of his journey. James's story serves as a powerful testament to the idea that monumental change is often the result of small, incremental steps. His journey from a cramped Brooklyn apartment to the boardrooms of his own company. It was not a single dramatic leap. It was a long, patient walk, paved with small wins and punctuated by humbling failures. He learned to save his first dollars in a jar, a lesson in financial discipline. He learned to truly listen to his customers, a lesson in market research. He learned to ask for help when he was lost, a lesson in humility and collaboration. Each experience, whether setback or success, was a brick that he used to build a stronger foundation for himself and his future. For anyone out there nursing a small dream in a big city, James Carter's life offers a clear and hopeful blueprint. His message is not one of overnight success or lottery ticket luck. It is a message of agency and perseverance. Start with that one small step, the one thing you can do today. Get a notebook and write everything down. Make your dream tangible. Save a little money, even if it feels insignificant. Talk to people, ask questions, and be open to the guidance of those who have walked the path before you. And above all, hold on to the kindness you receive from others, letting it fuel you when your own hope runs low. Remember that even on the hardest days, you are building something, one small act at a time. Now, when James looks out over the sprawling, glittering skyline of New York City, he doesn't just see buildings and lights. He sees a landscape of infinite possibility.